You think you're being a good guy. You text her good morning. You tell her she looks amazing every single time you see her. When you plan a date, you say, "Whatever you want to do is fine with me." You adjust your schedule to match hers. You filter your opinion so you don't accidentally disagree with her. You think this is kindness. You think this is how you show a woman you care. But if you're honest with yourself, it's not working. She isn't melting because of your niceness. She isn't feeling safer and more connected. She's pulling back. She's texting less. She's suggesting you just hang out as friends. Or worse, she's suggesting you take some space. You're left confused and hurt, asking yourself, what did I do wrong? I was so nice to her. Today, we are diving into the most uncomfortable truth in dating. Why your kindness is the very thing driving her away. Because the truth is, what you call kindness is often something else entirely. It's an act of performance, and it is quietly killing the respect and attraction she once had for you. If you've ever felt like you were treating a woman like a queen only to have her leave you for a bad boy, hit the like button. It's time we talked about what's actually happening here. And if you want to understand the psychological mechanisms that create real attraction, not the fake kind built on people-pleasing, subscribe to the channel. Tell me in the comments, what is the single nicest thing you've done for a woman that completely backfired? Let's get into it. The reason your kindness is driving her away is because it signals that you are seeking approval rather than offering genuine connection. Women, like all human beings, possess a sophisticated social radar. We instinctively feel the difference between an act of service given freely and an act of niceness given with the silent expectation of a return. Most men use kindness as a tool to manage uncertainty. They are afraid of her pulling back, afraid of a disagreement, afraid of not being good enough. So, they cover themselves in a layer of agreeability. They think that if they are nice enough, she has to like them. It becomes a performance. When you enter an interaction with the primary goal of being liked, you stop being a person and you start being a mirror. You reflect back whatever you think she wants to see. If she likes a certain type of music, suddenly you do too. If she has a specific political view, you nod along. You think you're building rapport, but you're actually destroying your own identity. From her perspective, there is no man to get to know. There is only a shadow following her lead. This performance places a massive amount of pressure on her. When you are always easygoing and agreeable, she feels like she has to carry 100% of the emotional leadership. If you never have a preference for where to eat, she has to choose. If you never disagree, she feels like she is talking to a mirror, not a distinct human being. This emotional labor is exhausting for a woman. She wants a partner who can stand on his own 2 feet, not a passenger she has to navigate for. This agreeability removes all friction. But here's the problem. Attraction requires friction. Without 2 distinct people with their own thoughts, desires, and opinions, there is no polarity. There is just an echo chamber of polite compliance. When you give up your individuality to be nice, you stop being the man she was originally curious about. True kindness isn't passive, it is active, and it often looks completely different than people-pleasing. True kindness is having the courage to set a boundary. True kindness is being honest, even when it's uncomfortable. True kindness is being grounded enough that your emotional stability isn't dependent on her approval. This is what we call non-reactive presence. It is the ability to sit in the tension of an interaction without rushing to fix it. Most nice guys are highly reactive. When she suggests a change of plans, they say, "No problem," even if it disrupts their entire day. When she is distant, they flood her inbox to make sure everything is okay. When she expresses a different opinion, they immediately adjust their own view to match hers. This reactivity signals emotional weakness. She instinctively realizes that your boundaries are made of paper. She cannot trust you to stand up for your own values, so she can never trust you to stand up for her or for the relationship when things get difficult. If you fold the moment she expresses a slight preference, she wonders how you would handle a real crisis. Real kindness is having the strength to say no, so that when you say yes, it actually means something. A yes from a man who can't say no is worthless. Men who lean heavily on kindness often think they are creating a safe emotional environment. They believe that by being agreeable, they are making her feel comfortable. But true safety isn't found in a lack of conflict. It's found in predictability and distinctness. Think about the men you respect. They probably don't agree with you 100% of the time. They are solid. They have opinions. They are anchors. Women are instinctively drawn to that solidity. They need to know who you are before they can feel truly safe with you. When you filter yourself, you are denying her the opportunity to know you. You are presenting a sanitized, safe version of yourself that is ultimately boring. Real intimacy requires risk. It requires the courage to disagree, to voice a preference, and to be distinct. A woman feels safer with a grounded man who stands by his own truth than a compliant man who will say anything to make her smile. Conflict, when handled with respect, is actually a tool for intimacy. It shows her that you are real. It shows her that you have a spine. Without that spine, there is no masculine energy for her feminine energy to play off of. There is often a hidden darkness beneath extreme kindness, the expectation of reciprocity. You might tell yourself you are just being nice, but if you're doing it to ensure a specific outcome, you are manipulating. Think about this. If you buy her dinner, tell her she's beautiful, and adapt your whole schedule to hers, and then you get angry or resentful when she isn't interested in you romantically, your kindness wasn't a gift. It was a transaction. You were essentially trying to buy her affection. Women feel this unspoken debt. It feels heavy. It signals that your self-worth is transactional and that your identity is tied to getting the result you want. This is the opposite of the self-possession that actually creates long-term attraction. When a woman senses that your good deeds come with an invisible invoice, she feels manipulated, not cared for. She feels like she owes you something she never agreed to buy. This is why nice guys often end up in the friend zone, because the friendship was the only thing that felt honest, while the romantic pursuit felt like a sales pitch. We have to talk about how attraction actually works on a biological level. Attraction thrives on polarity, the tension between two different energies. When you become too agreeable, you are essentially neutralizing your own energy. You become the same as her. You become a sibling or a best friend. To maintain romantic tension, there has to be a sense of otherness. There has to be a sense that you are your own man with your own world that she is invited to join, but not a man whose world is built entirely around her. How do you move from transactional niceness to authentic, grounded self-possession? It starts with where you put your focus. 1. Stop seeking a yes. The goal isn't to get her to approve of you. The goal is to discover who you naturally are and to find someone who fits that reality. 2. Develop preferences. Stop being down for whatever. Have an opinion on where you want to eat, what you want to do, and what matters to you. Lead the interaction. 3. Set boundaries. Your time is valuable. Your mission is valuable. If you need to focus on work, say so. If a suggestion doesn't fit your schedule, say no. Boundaries create respect, not rejection. 4. Choose clarity over harmony. Don't avoid disagreements. State your view calmly. Harmony only matters when it comes from two distinct voices, not when one is silenced. There is a massive difference between being a nice guy and being a good man. A nice guy avoids conflict because he's afraid. A good man handles conflict because he values the truth. A nice guy does things for praise. A good man does things because they align with his character. When you make the shift to being a good man, you realize that sometimes the kindest thing you can do is hold your ground. You stop trying to make her like you, and you start focusing on being a man you actually respect yourself. One of the most powerful things you can do when you feel yourself slipping into people-pleasing is to step back and create space. Most men, when they feel a woman pulling away, double down on the kindness. They send more flowers. They give more compliments. They check in more often. This just creates more pressure. Instead, create an emotional vacuum. Step back into your own life. Pursue your own goals. Let her feel the absence of your presence. If the attraction is there, she will step forward to fill that gap. If it's not, you've saved yourself months of performing for a crowd that isn't cheering. Being a good man is a core requirement for a healthy connection. Being a nice guy is a strategy of performance that destroys it. You don't need to be more of anything. You just need to be more of yourself. Have the courage to be distinct. Have the courage to be disagreeable. Have the courage to be grounded. When you stop performing kindness to gain approval, you start radiating confidence. And that is the quality that creates the very attraction you've been chasing all along. Stay steady. Stay grounded. In the next video, we're going to pull back the curtain on the darker side of dating dynamics. 10 manipulation tactics women use and how to spot them. Because once you stop being the nice guy who's easy to lead, you need to know how to recognize when someone is trying to use your integrity against you. We're going to talk about emotional guilt tripping, inconsistent reinforcement, and how to stay unshakable when the games start. I'll see you in the next one. I'm Mark, and this is Mark on Dating.